One last test before the World Cup for India. Then on ESPNcricinfo Match Day, we look ahead to a series that could decide the final missing pieces for Rohit Sharma's team. Got Piyush Chawla with me. Piyush, you know what it's like before a World Cup at home as you try and put your squad together. Let me start straight away with what your 11 will be for this first ODI in Mohali.
There are a lot of, not lot, but very few pieces which are missing or they are trying to fit in. So I guess Shubman Gill and Ishan Kishan will come back to the opening slot. Then number 3 followed by Tilak Varma. Number 4 is going to be KL Rahul because he has done really well there. Number 5 is Shreyas Iyer. Number 6 Surya. Number 7 Jadeja. Number 8 I think Ashwin, as per me, because when he especially called to play this series. And number 9, Shardul Thakur. Number 10, Jasprit. And number 11, Siraj.
Okay, interesting. The first thing is whether both Washi and Ashwin can find place in the same 11 in the absence of Kuldeep. The fact that they called Washington Sundar for the Asia Cup final, Piyush, does that in any way suggest that the team is looking at Washi as option 1 and Ashwin as option 2?
I feel when we missed Akshar there due to injury, so after that, they must have thought they need a batting all-rounder who can give you a proper batting. And that's the reason I think they called Washington Sundar. And if you talk about just from bowling point of view, so we all know what kind of a bowler Ashwin is, no matter it's a red ball or a white ball. We all know he's a great bowler, a great thinker of a game. So in terms of bowling, he's ahead of Washington Sundar.
What would you like to see from both these off spinners? I'm sure we'll see them at some point. If not together, then at some point in this 3-match series. But if you had to make that final call, what would you be looking at, given I think it's fair to say they are in the best case scenario going to be India's third spinner in the World Cup. So what are you looking for from how Ashwin bowls and how Washi bowls that will help you decide?
For me, if you ask me clearly, we'll be looking at from a bowling point of view because we have batting till number, say, 8. So if 8 batsmen can't do the job, so you can't expect number 9 to come and do the job for you. So I'll look at purely from a bowling point of view. So it totally depends how both of them bowl in this particular series because we know Ashwin has not played much ODI cricket in last few years. He hardly played like 2 one-days in last few years. So I think it's very important how he's going to bowl and turn up and bowl in this series. If he bowls really well, so I think they'll go with him.
Do you see Washington Sundar as someone you can use with the new ball as an added advantage? Will you see Ashwin potentially being used with a new ball as well in this series, Piyush?
The way our seamers are bowling, you talk about Jasprit Bumrah or Mohammad Siraj and Mohammad Shami, who's on the bench. He's one of the best bowler around, to be very honest. If he was playing for any other country, he would be the first seamer to come into the playing 11. But here, unfortunately, he's out and headaches are good sometimes. So I don't want any because you want a spinner to bowl with the new ball to pick up wickets in this format, especially in this 50-over format, because you're not looking to contain the players, not the batters. So I guess I don't want to change that option at all unless you're playing on a rank turner, which I really doubt that you'll get in the World Cup.
Yeah. Now, Shami, Siraj, Bumrah, this is the full strength fast bowling lineup for the entire ODI series. Piyush, how do you see the seamers getting a goal? Would you like to see Bumrah play every game, even though he had some game time in Sri Lanka? He didn't quite bowl 10 overs regularly, which is something we all want to see. So how would you manage Bumrah in this series and the rest of the seamers?
These 3 out of those 3, I feel everyone will get to play 2 games each. That's what I feel. So that your seamers will get the game time and at the same time they get the break as well. So Jasprit 2 games, Siraj 2 games, and then Shami probably 2 games.
My last question from Australia for you is just going to be on Adam Zampa and what it would be like to come back after a record that you don't want. None for 113 in that game against South Africa. He's seen the lighter side of it on social media. Now, once a leg spinner gets hit for something like that, we expect Adam Zampa to be a big part of Australia's plans for the World Cup. What would be your advice to him?
First of all, I'll tell you when I was asked to look, the spinners to look for in this World Cup. So Adam Zampa was one of my spinner out of 2. So one was Kuldeep and one was Zampa. So he's a very good bowler. He's got tremendous talent and he has done that for Australia and in different conditions. So that was one off day where the class and the way he batted in that particular game, it can happen to anyone. So unfortunately, that was Zampa's day to get hit like this. So it happens. And this is the beauty of this game. One day you're a hero, next day you're a zero, then again you're a hero. So he's somebody which is who will definitely play a very crucial role for Australia, because we all know in this kind of particular, as I heard, the 70-meter boundary thing, so the spinners will definitely come into play. And there are quite a few grounds, no matter how flat the wickets are, but with 50 over games and not much time to prepare the pitches, that will get slower.
All right, Piyush, I'm sure we'll talk during the series, but just at the start of it, India favorites, India to potentially win this 3-0, or do you sense this is going to be a tough series?
Well, Australia is always a difficult opponent, no matter whether they have come with their full side or they have come with their 80% side. And I think Australia also wants to win that series. So it's not going to be that easy. I would love to see India winning at least they'll win 2-1. That's what I feel. 3-0 looks little difficult, but 2-1.
All right, Piyush, thank you very much. We'll chat more as this series comes our way on ESPN Cricinfo Match.
Definitely. Thank you so much.